Alright, so let's get started here. I'm going to be doing this replay mostly for Ira Dalor. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong here. More from his perspective, but in general I'll also be going over any mistakes and things I see from the other players as well, because it is not a single person game, it's a team game and everybody has to move together coordinated or everything falls apart. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Um, this is you know, so first off, this kickoff, we have a clear person who needs to go for the ball, Noah, because he is the closest. And then it's a little bit ambiguous on what you want to do here, because you have two people that are at same distance in the backside, being damaged and Ira. So typically what I like to do is have the outside man cheat up on the back, and the back man will go back and wait on the goal line until he sees the touch, and then he can choose to come out either left or right in support. See how y'all decide to play this. Okay, so right off the bat, we kind of get what I was talking about. We have Noah come up, Heroes moving forward, and Damage is moving back, which is correct. So we have, what you're always trying to do is you're always trying to make a triangle with your teammates. Um, so basically you want to have one person here, one person here, and one person back here, making kind of like a triangle. That way you can keep spinning to replace the next person. Everybody moves together in a fluid motion, so a person who's challenging the ball can get a clear open hit, nobody's in their way, and everything can just flow smoothly. So at this point we have the kickoff, and no Ira is coming up to help, and you see here now both of them are going the same direction. So if you look at the direction of Noah and Ira, they're both looking at the ball along with damage. So this is everybody coming at the ball and nobody's moving around to help. So typically what you want to do is, depending on how this hit goes, Noah should probably concede this because he got stuck. He lost his momentum, and isn't going to be able to get the next touch on this. So you're probably right to be able to go for this, but it is kind of behind you, so I can see why it would go to damage. You all kind of have to figure it out together. Um, but so either Ira's going to come in for this touch, or better, damage comes in for this touch. Ira does a little kind of falls in behind him and lets Noah go across. And then we kind of get into our rotations. Instead, we have all three people on the same side. So if you look at this, there's nobody on the cross. We have a wide open net. If they get it over here, there's nothing to stop them from just banging it in nice and easy. And that came from just everybody going directly to the ball rather than noticing that a teammate has a better angle. Damage actually had the best angle. He should have gone in. Um, and then just conceding the ball to him and falling in line behind him. Okay, so this is another common mistake at the amongst newer players here. So we'll see. Um, Here we have people out of position. Things have gone bad, and you're on the wrong side of the ball towards the side of a net. So one person does have to challenge this the best they can, but the other two need to get out of the way. You need to go over and across to the far side, and you always want to be coming into the net from the back towards the near side post. You never want to be going back this way. This is called a ball side uh, rotation, and what it does is it prevents the person who's coming the correct way from getting a good touch, and it also means that there's nobody coming in to fill his spot. So it's harder for him to make the clear, and it also means that it's more important for him to make the clear because he doesn't have a teammate backing him up in case he makes a mistake. So here we see, move that. Noah and Damage both start booking it back on the ball side. So now we have everybody in the corner, and Damage, instead of going wide out to the left and back to the goal to get out of the way and let Noah take this, he comes right at the ball and hits Noah and gives up possession. And then here again, Ira, if you'll see, we're trying to make a triangle here. So we've got Noah here and Damage here. First of all, at that collision, you need to be back here at the net. If you see your teammates are both collided running into each other and things are going awry, you need to be defensive minded first and wait for them to kind of fix themselves. And then I would imagine from there, Noah should rotate around, Damage should cut up to challenge this ball while you wait here to follow Damage up as the back man. But instead, you stay up and kind of cut this right here. And what that does is it opens up everything on this side of the field over here. There's not a single person on blue. So if Trigger Happy or Thunderstrike were able to get a bump kind of over in this direction, I mean, luckily for you, your opponents are doing the same thing. So they've also kind of all committed on the ball rather than spreading out. But the point remains valid that as you move up through, people like this will be able to get a touch over to here, and then like Thunder could be not in the wrong spot if he actually waited over here and then get a very easy touch. So just make sure you're not overcommitting and coming from this angle. First of all, if you do challenge, you always want to challenge from the goal side rather than from the corner side. Um, but regardless, you need to be out either this way or in the back because you have teammates here and back here. So that's definitely not your ball on the right side when you have somebody further to the right. You need to concede that even if you can't get the hit and just play defensively. Alright. Okay, and then here we have something similar. It's not quite a ball side rotation, but you're going near post instead of back post. So if we look at the angle you're taking here, um, so you see the Damage is here coming up. He has the better angle to be able to get the clear than you do coming back this way. So you want to concede that ball to your teammate and rotate back and around. So you can actually come, like that's actually not a bad path right there. You know, you can pick up a couple little boost pads along the way, and then you come in to fill Damage so that right as he's coming out to take the hit, you're in a position ready to fill him. And then Rhaegar should be coming right behind you, able to be your backup net, safety net. Um, at that point, if Damage is able to get the win, you have two options. Either you and net book it up and out or around, or if it happens really quickly, Rhaegar can flip that Yui and be his outlet pass. So Damage can actually just shoot the ball out over to Rhaegar a lot faster than people can drive. So if he gets a good touch on the corner, he can just boom it to the corner. Rhaegar can flip a Yui and get a touch sort of like that, are basically your two options. So however it happens, you end up with here's Damage being one, Rhaegar's being the other wing kind of here heading this way, and you're coming in here on the back side, and we have our triangle going again. And as long as everything keeps spinning, we can either make this guy stay in the spot, or he can continue coming back, and then Damage can follow up and follow up. Yeah, whatever happens, we have the triangle, and it is going in this direction, and that's the important thing. So just avoid coming this way, and know that you need to go a little bit wider. And that's exactly what happened. So you'll both end up missing it, and if you had gone wide and around, you could have seen it right behind Damage, and you could have been there to get that clear. Instead, there's a lob right across the net. Luckily, they're not able to capitalize on that, but they had a very good opportunity to score here. Um, Also, don't cut off your teammate here. So you'll see he's got the ball, your goalie, and then Noah's over here somewhere. Um, but you can't go through damage until you see him rotate off. So even if he gets a bad touch, your number one job is goalie. Um, until you see that he is in a position where he can't continue to contest this ball, like he's moved off, that's your cue to come in. So just be a little bit more patient here, because when you charge out with them, you get a double commit into the corner, and it leaves the net wide open. So then Noah's in a bad spot. He can fill the net, which leaves the cross open, which means if it ever comes across to this part of the field, then they can get a very easy touch, or he stays on the cross to block that, and the net's open. Um, Either way, you have a gap, so you need to make sure not to double commit here. And just in general, trust your team. He shouldn't turn around like this. He should have stayed on that ball and conceded it, but you've left the net a little bit too soon here. We have two on the same side and nobody on the cross. So even if y'all were able to win that touch, you have nobody to pass to because you're both playing the ball and nobody's playing the assist. Also, it means that it takes longer for you to get back, which means Noah Rhaegar here is in a tough spot where he has to get a very good clear in order to buy enough time, which he doesn't. Okay, so here we have another standard kickoff. We have this one is two wings and a sweeper. So most people, the Reddit decided that left side is the one who goes. If unless somebody else calls. So like if your teammate says he's got it, go ahead and let him go for it. But normally, if nobody says anything, left side is the one who goes. Um, and basically, you want to cheat up here to be the second man, and he is going to go back this way. And then when that happens, so damage is going to come out here. You end up kind of coming this way, and he comes around, and within a few seconds, you end up seeing you got 1, 2, 3. So Noah comes here to be the back part of a triangle, and then it's kind of ambiguous as far as you and damage go, because it all kind of depends on this hit. So most of the time, the sweeper is going to be the one to follow the ball. But it kind of just depends on how this initial touch goes. So one of y'all is going to continue on the ball. Either damage continues on the ball and you move to the opposite side to support him, or he hits it more likely and then you follow up on the ball and he should move away from the ball to either support you or grab boost and back up and let Rhaegar come up. Um, so yeah, ideally you don't ever want to have a double commit. It's actually a double commit on both sides. But you really just want to have one person go for kickoff. Um, it's good of you to notice that they went in there and slow down, because normally you would be cheating up a little bit faster than that, but you saw that your other teammate went and slowed down. That's a good adaptation. And backed up. So good. So you notice that if you see both your teammates on ball cam, you know that you're the last man back, and you did the right thing to sit back here and see how this play develops. And they're able to make it work. Probably because the other team also double committed on the kickoff. Okay, again we have a double commit, which is yeah. Okay, let's take a look at this right here. So there's the double commit on this. That's fine. Right here, we have the ball has gone to the right side, and you and damage are pretty much in a line, one on the left and one on the right. And that should be the indicator as far as where you need to go. So since you see that damage is here and he's closer to the ball, you need to let him go, and you need to be going this way. If you need to grab boost, you can do that, or you can try to steal their boost. Or if you think damage is going to get a real good touch and you have enough, you can maybe just grab a couple dots and go in this way. Or if you really aren't confident in it, you can get this and book it out and let your teammate come to fill your spot. But the one thing you absolutely cannot do is go this way. So because when you do that, you double commit here, there's nobody on the cross, and then there's nobody coming to replace Noah. If y'all don't win this, Noah has to come up and nobody can come to have his back because y'all are both committed here. So your job is to be over here, waiting for a pass from damage, or if damage makes a mistake and Noah has to come, Noah is his safety net, Noah will come up to save him, and when you see that damage makes that mistake and Noah's coming up, that's your cue to back up and replace Noah. Um, so by following the ball this way, you are conceded being the safety net for the backman, and now you have a total of 2 chances for your team to touch this ball before they automatically get possession, just due to the fact that you won't be in position to have Noah's back. So at the most, if damage and Noah both make a mistake, your team is done. Whereas if you'd gone out and around, you'd be right where you needed to be in order to make the next touch. Alright, let's continue on. So here's that you go to the ball side, and then now damage has nobody to pass to. So if you had gone out to the left corner, then maybe damage could have flown up, tapped it off the backboard, gotten some little touch, messed up the goalie, you know, or even just if they get a 50-50 and it bounces that way, you'll be in a better spot, and you'll also be in a position where you can back up and be ready to defend and replace Noah. So he was still able to do that, but he had to cut back across the same way, and that could have been a lot easier done by you from the left side, Ira. Okay, so this one's pretty self-explanatory. Ira's obviously the kickoff. Noah's obviously the cheat up man. And damage, he should be grabbing that one little dot of boost right in front of him and backing up to the goal line to wait to see how the kickoff goes. Okay, so Noah and damage did that backwards. Well, at least you have one person going back and one person cheating up. So it definitely could have been a lot worse. But typically Noah should be the cheat man, and damage should be the goalie here. Okay, here's a mistake by Noah that I just kind of want to point out. So he taps it out and around, and you notice that there's nobody back. So you do a good job, Ira, here, since he was the back man and he doesn't have any support here, for you to take this here. We have damage on the back and Noah coming back this way. And then, and Noah needs to recognize the fact that he was the last man back and we're adapting. Meaning that even if he doesn't have boost, he's the fastest one to get to goal. So what he should do is he should be going to the back to the post and be looking here to play goalie. Meanwhile, damage is free to grab the boost and come back to replace him. So as this happens quickly, Noah will be free. He only has to hold it for a second as you challenge this, and will probably be able to continue his path through and grab this boost on his way out to help you on offense if it goes that way. Otherwise, he can still make that path as soon as damage comes here, and then he can continue to just rotate out. The most important thing is to just keep those rotations going. You'll see what Noah does instead is he books it for corner boost, and that's a problem because there's nobody here. So you can only grab corner boost when you're the last man back in rotation, being damage. So damage is free to take mid boost or corner boost or take his time and do whatever he wants because he's the last man coming back in rotation. Noah, being in this position, has to recognize that the goal is empty while his man is challenging from not the best of positions, or you really not sure which way this ball is going to go, if you're going to win or if Thunder's going to win. So he needs to be booking it back here, even without boost. Just if you have to, go 1, 2, 3 boost pads and he just needs to hold on to be ready for whatever kind of touch he can do in case it's a quick shot before damage can get back. But if it doesn't happen, he can just kind of slide right on out, grab that boost, continue on his way, and then damage is right there ready to replace him. So let's look at what actually happens in this one. And Noah goes all the way out to the corner boost, leaving the net wide open. And then, so now if Trigger Happy or Bender were just a little bit closer, that's a very, very easy goal. Luckily, Damage was able to come through and get that touch, but that should have been Noah clearing that rather than going for boost. Okay, so this is very not good. This is a triple commit coming in here. So let's take a look at how this happened. Okay, so here is that backside rotation that I was talking about that you never want to do. You never want to be, if the ball is on this side, you never want to be going backwards towards the ball at your net like this. All you're going to do is make it difficult for either it ends up being damaged to hit this out and around here. And it also means that you don't have anybody coming around to replace him. So ideally, it should have been Noah coming up to get this hit, Damage coming back around this way, and then Ira, you would come around to replace Damage back this way. What that does is a mixture that you're in position for the next touch. It prevents you from blocking your teammate who has the correct angle, and I mean, that's the big thing. It's most importantly, it gets you out of the way of your teammate who has the better angle, and secondly, it keeps you in the spot ready to just keep circling so that everybody can keep their momentum. So here we have the backside rotation along with the cut across the field because Noah went for a boost, and then at this point, you're kind of in no man's land, and you're still going out towards the ball when you can see both of your teammates challenging the ball on the wall and your goal's wide open. So this very easily could have been a goal, but now all three of you were overloaded on the same side. So if they had been doing their correct triangle, so if we look at it from their perspective, oops, so if we look at it as if they were offense, they should have one here, and one here. If he had gotten that pop to his teammate right here, that is a wide open shot with nobody here able to defend that. So just be aware of your spacing and position in rotations so that you don't leave those sides of the field open. Okay, so here is, okay, this is a couple things going wrong here. Okay, so right here we have the workings of what should be the triangle. We got Ira has the ball and he's taking it this way. Noah should be moving up this way and around because Damage is heading back. So Damage should be, he even has time to go grab corner boost if he wants, but he needs to go a little bit wider and around unless he sees you getting that, in which case he can book it up here on offense. Either way, he can't come this way. He needs to stay on this side of the field. Whether he's going up or whether he's going back is kind of a judgment call based off of what happens over here. He needs to kind of read that play. But he definitely needs to stay over here. He can't cut across because, again, that's going towards the ball but not from the back. That's going the wrong way on the rotations. He's going backwards. So what happens here is Damage cuts across, and now Noah is still just sitting back in net, who should be starting to move up. He's way too far back, and Damage is now behind you, so you have 1, 2, and someone all the way back here. So first of all, he's too far away. He can't do anything. He's completely out of a play. Noah is. Damage is now basically just in a position where he's like, Ira's going to make a mistake. I bet he's going to just totally miss this dribble, and I'm going to be able to drive in right behind him and score and be the hero. So he's counting on you to make a mistake rather than playing like a teammate. Whereas if he had stayed over here, or if Noah had come up and gone over here like they were supposed to, look at this. You can just pass the ball right across the field while Thunderstrike is charging this way, and anybody who is anywhere over here has a wide open shot. Literally not anybody for this much of the field is completely free reign. If you see, as soon as if you just get it past Thunderstrike on the side, and Damage or Noah, anybody can just get the easiest shot in the entire world right here because they've all bunched up and overloaded the same that y'all have done. So if you can kind of get used to having a right and a left and spreading out like this, it'll open up a lot of these backside shots that you'll see will just be so easy, especially at the lower ranks where people haven't figured out how to rotate correctly yet. Just learning how to rotate, you'll win 90% of your games. Just shoot through the ranks, no problem. And then again, we have Damage cutting back towards the ball. And then same issue because he's coming right at the ball while Noah, I mean he shouldn't be all the way up here, is trying to attack this way. And all he's going to do is get in the way, and means that he doesn't have your back as you come this way because he's coming in this way. So even if he doesn't mess up Noah, he might run into you or hit you, or now it's ambiguous as to who goes up, who goes back. You know, it's an overall bad play. Damage needs to not be going that way. He should have been booking it this way, ready to replace Ira coming up and around. Yeah, he steals it from him. Ira, you're a little bit rushing that because Damage is still on the ball. And when you book it out, now Noah has to make one of two choices. Either he has to wait out over here again on the wing to block it, or move into goalie, which he does. And now you notice you have two in the corner, one goalie, and you have that wide open wing. Oh, and look, and Thunderstrike is in the right spot. So if they get, well, I mean, they shouldn't have two on the ball either. But if they were able to pop it out and around over to this way, that's a very tough save for Noah being positioned backwards facing this way. For Thunderstrike to just be able to get a nice easy touch here. So yeah, if Trigger Happy had gotten that hit, then he's already gone back now. But he could have gotten over here for that shot, and that's the shot you're really looking for in threes. Is you want to get it across the net to your teammate for that nice little easy redirect. Again, we got two people on the same side. Everybody's over. Actually, all 6 players are on the left side of the field. There's not a single player that is even on this side of the goalpost. So whichever team decides to spread out, they have 100% control of 60% of the field with one player. And that would just, whether it be Ira or Damage that gets that touch, if the other one was just sitting over here, that's the easiest shot in the world. So just spread out, get your angles, cover the field, and get your rotations. Here, Ira, you're cutting across on the ball side again. So, because you were over here, you're the assist man. You have to wait for the pass to come across to you, or you have to wait for the back man to come up and take this and be ready to replace him. Um, because even if Damage makes a mistake and you come in this way, what can you do? Your options are try to get a pinch on the wall and hope that it comes back to the goal, or bang it off the backboard towards the wall. And if you do either of those, there's nobody over here because that's where you're supposed to be. So your only play here is to pass to the spot that you're supposed to be in, and you don't have a teammate there because that's where you're supposed to be. So you just need to wait and let him try to make that pass, because even if you were able to come across and save the day and make that pass, you're passing to nobody, and it's going to end up just being easily cleared out by the goalie, and you're giving up possession of the ball and you're both going to be on the wrong side cutting back, and Noah's going to be stuck in a 2v1, which is not a position you want to be in. Here we have 2 people rotating back on the ball side again, 3 people rotating back on the ball side, colliding. We're out and around. I'm not going to stop again. I think I've gone over that concept enough, but just it's another example of it. Damage needs to be booking it out to the right side of the field. If he'd gone out to the right and rotation, he probably could have followed that up. Again, everybody cutting towards the ball, overloaded on the right. There's that damage, needs to leave that alone. Him being on the back side, he needs to let the back man come up. It seems to be that the 2 offensive players are just kind of taking turns. Alright, so damage comes around, and here comes Noah to get the touch, and doop, juked. Alright, we got 2 backside ball rotations again, going the wrong way down the field. Damage just waiting for it, everybody getting grouped up. We have a triple commit, everybody in the same spot. It's more important just to spread out. Double commit. Here is coming back on the ball side. And now you're kind of in a weird spot, whereas you should have been going around back to be damages. Noah's cutting back on the ball side. We have a triple commit. There we go. So here, Noah kind of does the right rotation here. So look at this. So we have Ira up on the left. We have damage challenging the ball on the right, and Noah's going back on the ball side, and then he's coming from the correct direction, able to challenge this. And then Ira, you need to just stay a little bit back and be moving from the ball side back towards to have Rhaegar's back, because the back man keeps getting stuck because we have these left to right crossing challenges. Wow, damage is just waiting for the boost. Never wait for boost. Never do what damage is doing here. So let's how long is he here? Alright, so minute 31. 32, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 seconds, but he was just sitting there out of a play, just waiting for boost to spawn. In that amount of time, he could have gone and grabbed literally any other boost on the map. That is never an okay thing to do. Here, damage is cutting across the field to take the ball from Ira rather than staying on the left and wait for a pass. Noah's unable to move in. Noah still can't come in because y'all are just switching. Noah still can't come in. Given up, nobody's on the... Both people are rotating back together rather than having a back and a wing. Damage is cutting back ball side. He's able to get the score, but that was more them making mistakes than blue team doing it correctly. We have a double commit on the kickoff. Oh, I was right about to praise Noah for doing the right thing and going around and back, but he goes so wide on to grab a boost rather than protecting the net. He needs the first one back. He needs to go wide, but to the net and damage actually is the one to swing wide and grab one of the boosts. Here, Here, if you miss the ball, just need to concede the fact that somebody else has a better angle on it. So you're already on the wrong side. Just go ahead and go around. Go ahead and go around and let somebody come up this way to get the clear. Um, Going this way is just going to block your team. Here we have you're moving behind him again. You're moving in a position as if you're expecting damage to make a mistake and you're ready to take the ball from him, rather than you're ready for him to pass the ball. You need to open up his passing lane, get out on this side for him so that he can take that, shoot it across the field, and then while these guys, nobody, especially at the lower levels, nobody expects these high lob touches. So they're all ready to come challenge this. They're all looking this way, and as soon as it comes over, they're not ready for the back shot here. So just create that space, and even if he's isn't like good enough to do it intentionally, a lot of times it'll happen just from trigger coming to try to pinch it, and it hits and it bounces off the wall and it launches there. So whether he's trying to do it or not, they're given this part of the field, just take it. But giving you like 60% of the field all free reign for anybody who wants to go grab it, and that's your territory right here. Everybody's overloaded. Noah starts to go across. It's nice. But we get nobody back. It's a backside rotation by Ira. You need to go wide and around so you don't get in Noah's way. Uh, And uh, and that's the end. So I think the biggest things that you need to focus on are getting used to this triangle formation. Um, have being comfortable being on the side of a field that the ball is not on, and knowing that you don't go across to help if he has a mistake, that you're waiting to go back. Another thing, the backman, so when the ball's on the offensive side, the backman, he's not protecting the goal. He's not all the way back here. His job isn't to protect the net. His job is to sit kind of in this area right here, and his job is to slow down the ball long enough for the opposite side man to go. So if, say we have one man on the ball over here, and we have our triangle like this man's job is not to protect the net. This man's job is to challenge the ball when this guy makes a mistake. He needs to challenge the ball in order to slow it down long enough for this guy over here to be booking it back. So this guy, his job is to slow it down for like a second, half a second, the best he can do, bang it off the wall in order for this man to be able to be booking it back right behind him to be goalie. So when this man is actually responsible for, if we get a good touch, I'm going to be making the shot off of a pass. If things go awry, I'm the goalie. And it seems weird that you're the goalie when you're all the way on offense, but this man isn't going to be booking it backwards. He's going to be booking it into challenge. So we've got a mistake here. We get a challenge here to slow down, to buy you the time to go back to net if you can't make the shot off of a pass. Um, so that would be the first thing I would really work on. The second thing is just the rotations always go the same way, and it's always the back man is going to go towards the ball always. So um, whenever the ball is on the right side, we rotate counterclockwise. Whenever the ball is on the left side, back man comes this way, and we go clockwise. And every time the ball crosses midfield, the rotation switches. So I'd really say just really try to focus on those two things, keeping that positioning wide, back and around, and getting the direction of where you're going. You're always going wide and around, away from the ball. Um, Other than that, I'd say you know, just practice that for a little bit, see how it goes, and feel free to shoot me another video in a little while, so we can check out your progress and make adjustments if necessary.